Hi everyone! So today I have another binder reorganization video. It's been a while since I filmed anything, but I should hopefully be able to start posting regularly again. I just started a new job, so I don't have as much time to film now, but I should at least be able to start filming stuff again. And I also was originally planning on setting up for Lisa and Rose's solo albums that are coming out soon in this video, but I haven't had a chance to make fillers yet, and I don't know exactly what my layout is going to be for Lisa's album. So I decided to not do that in this video. I might do it in like another reorganization video sometime soon, or my next storing photocards video if I have a chance. But for right now, I'm mainly going to be setting up 2 new binders. So I'm going to be taking most of the stuff in my Blackpink non-album photocard binder out, and I'm going to put them in this new Meow Cafe A4 extra wide binder with 12 pocket pages. And I think I'm going to move, not right now, but in the future, I might move Lisa's solo album photocards into this binder and just have this all Lisa stuff. But for right now, I'm just going to move some of this stuff that I have all 4 members for into the bigger binder and have the 12 pocket layout. And then I'm also, after that, going to be setting up a bigger album inclusions binder for Stray Kids and EXO. I was going to also set up for the Stray Kids comeback, but I honestly haven't decided exactly what I'm collecting for that. I'm probably not going to decide until the album is actually out and I see all the photo cards, but I will probably do it at some point. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to take everything that's coming out of this binder out first. So I'm not doing anything. So I'm not going to be taking any of the stuff I have just Lisa for out right now. And I'm also going to be keeping some of the other stuff that I have all 4 members for, like the 4+1 photo book stuff. I'm going to stay. There also is a few things in here that I've rearranged a little bit since the last time I filmed, but it's nothing like too different. I'm also going to be keeping this in here. I might move this into my bigger album inclusions binder at some point, or my bigger inclusions binder at some point, but I'm not going to do it right now. And I also think I'm going to try and collect possibly both sets of those cards for all 4 members for the light stick cards at some point, and then I'll move them into the other binder. But they are going to stay for right now. The membership kit photo cards I am going to take out. I'm just going to leave the stickers in my membership card in here for right now, because I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So I'm just going to leave them. And then I've been trying to figure out what I could possibly put on a page with these cards if I move them into the other binder. Since they only had 1 set of cards for their 7th anniversary, there wasn't really a whole lot of options. There wasn't like other anniversary cards that I could have paired them with. So I honestly think because they are in tour outfits, I might try and just find 2 sets of tour photo cards and have those all on 1 page. But I haven't decided yet. And then all of the Blackpink the Game stuff is going to come out. And I do think I might try and collect another pop set to put on a page with the selfie cards from the Girls OST. I wanted to get, I think, the YG Select set where all of the members except for Jisoo have a green background. Because I honestly really like that set. It is a set of selfie cards, and for the most part they do match. It's just Jisoo that has a card that doesn't quite match. But I don't know. Yeah, and honestly, with Lisa announcing her album, it's kind of made me not want to collect some of the other stuff I was planning on getting right now, because I do want to focus on Lisa's solo stuff once that comes out. It is still a few months away because her album isn't coming out until February. But I do know once it is out, I am going to want to focus on that and not worry about trying to get other stuff. I also haven't pre-ordered my albums for her yet. I did pre-order the signed jewel case version and vinyl, which I believe they just both come with the same signed insert, so honestly didn't need both, but I wanted to get both. But I haven't pre-ordered any of the other photo book versions yet because I was waiting to see if they were going to do like any store exclusive cards or anything like that. And even if they don't, I'm probably just going to wait a little bit until a little bit closer until the actual album release to pre-order the rest of the copies. I really just wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on the signed copies. And then I haven't pre-ordered anything for Rosé yet either. I was also going to try and get a signed copy for her too, but I ended up completely missing them when they were on sale, and I don't think they've restocked them. I'm hoping they do at some point, but I am honestly worried I'm going to be at work when they're on sale again and I'll end up missing out on them again. And I honestly just haven't decided what store I'm going to pre-order her album from yet. I do think I am only planning on getting one copy of the album no matter what. I'm really trying to cut back on buying a bunch of extra copies of albums that I don't need. Lisa is going to be like the one exception to that. I probably will buy more copies of Alter Ego than I need. But for everybody else, I'm really trying not to buy a bunch of extra copies. And for Rosé, I think every store has the same 10 photo cards, and then there's just some stores that have different postcards. So I'm just going to buy one copy. And I'm probably not going to try and collect any of the extra like store exclusive postcards. I am also probably just going to try and collect only 9 cards. I think there's like just a few stores that have pops, so I might see for any of the stores that do a pop instead of one of the other regular album cards, but I'm not really making any decisions yet until the album's actually out and we see the cards. I'm going to at some point go through and take out all of these empty pages, but I'm just not going to do it right now because I already have a bunch of other stuff I want to do in this video. I am going to leave the 2020 Welcoming Collection cards in here for right now because I honestly don't know what I would do with them if I put them in the other binder. I'm going to try and figure something else out. I know there are that set of cards that I am missing for everyone but Lisa. I technically couldn't also get the clear cards, but I really don't want to. I would at least like to get the Lisa and Rosé unit card, but even if I got that, it wouldn't really fill out a full page. I would still have 2 empty spots, so I'll try and figure out something for that at some point. But I believe everything else in this binder now should be coming out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the 2021 Season's Greetings pre-order cards because I don't have all of them. I have one full set of all of the members, and then I have Lisa's other card, but I don't have the other card for any of the other members. And it was never really something I was planning on getting. I at least just wanted to have both of Lisa's cards. So I'll have to figure out something for that, right? And then the last thing I have in here is just the 2022 Welcoming Collection cards. Honestly, it is kind of crazy that they didn't do a Season's Greetings or Welcoming Collection for 2023 and 2024. And I feel like the odds of them doing anything for 2025 are pretty slim. I know that Rosé did have I think a Season's Greeting. It was either a Season's Greetings or a Welcoming Collection for this year. But stuff like that is something I'm only gonna get Lisa for. As much as like I do love the other members, I just can't buy all that kind of stuff for every single member. And again, with Lisa's album coming out next year, I'm really not planning on buying a bunch of random stuff for other members or for other groups, because I want to make sure I'm ready for Lisa's album. So like I said, I'm going to take out all of these empty pages at some point. I'm just not going to do it right now or in this video. And some of this stuff, again, in the future might come out. I might rearrange some stuff, but I'm going to leave it like this for now. And I might also move Lisa's solo stuff and her solo album cards in this binder at some point too. But for right now, I'm not going to worry about it. I might end up doing that in my next sewing video, especially if I do end up setting up for alter ego in that video. Okay, so now that everything is out of here, I'm going to put it in the new binder. So I did already put pages in here. I also put the backboards in here. So I did get 50 pages with this binder, but I definitely am not even going to need half of the pages I have. So I only put one set in. So it's just 25 pages in here right now. I do have a lot of stuff to put away. And this is only one pile of it. I think I got some of the stuff out of order. I might have to go back through and fix some stuff. Alright, so that is everything for right now. Of course, I just knocked the pile over too. I haven't really thought about exactly what order I'm going to lay everything out in or what my plan is. I think I'm probably just going to try and keep stuff in the same order that it was in the other binder. So I think I'm going to start off with the membership cards. And I'm still going to keep them in like reverse age order. So Lisa is first. And I think I had, that's at the top, that's at the bottom, and then this one in the middle. And then here is the last set. I was honestly going back and forth for the longest time about getting a binder this size for them, because I knew I didn't really want to move their album photo card binders into a binder with 12 pocket pages, because so many of their sets work better like in sets of 2, because they usually do 2 sets of a black version and 2 sets of a pink version for their photo cards. So I just never liked the way, at least for me personally in my own collection, the way I would have to split different versions up. And then I was thinking about just moving their Blackpink the Game stuff into a binder like this. And then I just kept going through my non-album binder and was like looking at what other sets I could put in here. And I decided to just go for it. And I was like, if I don't like it, I can always just keep some stuff in here. Like maybe just keep the Blackpink the Game stuff in here. But I do think I'm gonna end up liking it. I did try out a few sets in here just to see if I would like it. And so far, I do think I do. Next, I think I might put in the Blackpink the Game stuff. Here are all the girls OST cards. I was also kind of thinking about going back and collecting some of the sets that I'm missing for the stuff from the game. But honestly, all of my plans for collecting anything right now have kind of been put on hold because I just want to make sure I'm ready for Lisa's album. So I'm going to put the 2 sets of selfie cards and the K-Town for You pops on the same page. I do think I'm going to switch out this set at some point because I do want to get probably the YG Select set, even though Lisa's card matches this one and everyone else's cards have a green background. But we will see. Again, it's not going to be like a super high priority thing, but if I have a chance to to get the cards, I definitely will. I at least want to get Lisa's. And then if I can get everyone else's at some point, that would be nice. Honestly, I do really like the K-Town View set. So I feel like there's some, they're like pretty cute, but I feel like these three, they just doesn't go with the other two sets as well. But I do like it. I just think the YG Select set would look nice on this page. So there is, I do wish that the backs of the selfie cards looked better instead of just having the coupon code on the back of them. Okay, now I think I'm gonna do this set. And then these two sets. So I think I'm gonna put this set in the middle since the cards are horizontal. And that's it at the bottom, and then this one at the top. It's honestly kind of crazy seeing how long ago they filmed some of the stuff for the game. Because Lisa still has pink hair in a lot of it. And if I remember correctly, that was like 2021 that she had pink hair. So they filmed a lot of stuff in advance. Right, there is those two sets. And then I think I am going to be short on the last page. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to put in the middle. And for some reason, Lisa is like the only one that has one less card with like the weird background from the game. And she randomly has that card from one of the other themes. Right, so I do have some of the stickers. And then these two cards that I could put on here. So I'm gonna go with that for right now. Then I think the designer set was next, which I do only have two sets of cards for this one. So I'm just gonna put some of the other sticker sets and other cards that the set came with in the middle. I don't think I'm gonna try and get anything else to put on this page or another set of the designer cards to put on this page, just because I would rather get some of the sets that I'm missing than to try and get another set of cards for that page. And then the only other thing I have for Valentine's set is the only other Blackpink the Game stuff I have is the Valentine's set, which I did buy two, so I would have 3 sets. I don't remember how I had these laid out, and I do know there isn't an even amount of cards with the different colored backs. I think I only have enough for one full set with the pink backs. And I just have an extra Jenny and Jisoo. Probably put those two in the middle. This would honestly just be so much easier if I had more of the cards. gonna go with that for now. If I want to change any of the sets around later, I can. Oh, I need to change the Jisoo cards. Right now, backs match better. And then I just have some extra pops for random sets that they've done. So I do have Lisa and Jisoo for the Valentine's set, Lisa's Christmas one, and then I can't remember what theme that was. I honestly think I would like to try and get the other members for the Valentine's and Christmas ones. I can't remember if any of the other collections also had like the Polaroid style pops, or if there was just like another pop set, because I know they kind of stopped doing them at one point. I think I'm gonna try, if I can, to get some of the other members, but it's not a big priority. So I might just stick some of the extra filler cards I had in here for right now. That's definitely not going to stay like that. I might honestly just put white sleeves in there at some point. I'm just not going to do that now because I honestly think I do need to get new sleeves. Okay, and now all I have left is the Season's Greetings, Welcoming Collections, and Summer Diary stuff. So that was from 2020, so those will go in first. And these I also know don't have like the same number of greenbacks and pinkbacks. Okay, so Lisa and Rose have an extra set of cards with the greenbacks, and then Jenny and Jisoo have an extra set with the pinkbacks. So I think I'll put those two up there, and then the other set down here. And do this set in the middle. I'll do those up there, and then that's it down there. Right, that works for now. Yeah, so the backs don't really match up very well, but there's nothing I can do about that. And now I have the 2021 Season's Greetings, which Rose has 2 black cards. Lisa has 2 pink cards. Jason has 2 pink. And Jenny has 2 black cards. Honestly, I think I might switch around the layout of this. Maybe do that, because otherwise it's gonna be like a really weird pattern because of the way they switched up like the colors for the different members. And then that just leaves me with 4 cards and then an extra Lisa. I think I'm just going to put these on the next page for right now and then try and figure something else out at another point. Even if I got all the other members for that set, I would still need to figure out something to put at the bottom. And I don't know if there was really any other cards that could go on this page, but I will have to figure something else out for that. Okay, and then the last thing for this binder is the 2022 Welcoming Collection cards. And I know they didn't really... I know there was like at least like maybe 2 other sets of these cards. So there were different sets that you could pull. And I never ended up getting any of the other ones that I'm missing. It is something I might consider doing at some point. I'm probably going to switch up this layout at some point. But at least just want to have the cards in for right now. So there's all of those. And I still have all of the unit cards and then the one last set of pre-order cards. So I think I might do the Jisoo and Jenny cards at the bottom, the Lisa and Rose ones at the top, and then the Weavers Pops in the middle. Honestly, wish they, not that they've released anything at all recently, but I wish they would give us more unit cards when they do release stuff. Right, and then that is everything for this binder for right now. So I do still have some more pages in here, and then I also have another set of 25 pages. So if there's anything else I want to add in here, I've got plenty of room to do it. I'm just going to do a quick flip through of this binder. So first I have the Link membership cards, then I have the 2 sets of selfie cards from the Blackpink the Game OST, and then the set of the K-Top Pops, and then more of game OST cards, the designer collection cards, then the Valentine's cards, this random page we don't know exactly what to do with, the 2020 Summer Diary, 2021 Season's Greetings, another random page that's not finished for the season's greetings, and the 2022 Welcoming Collection. So there's not a ton of stuff in here, but it does at least put some of the sets together that I wasn't happy about, that I felt like I could have done something else with that were in my non-album binder. So I don't know exactly what else I'll add to this right now. There are a few things I'm considering. I might just slowly work on some of those sets. But that is everything for in here for right now. Right, and then next I have the other bigger inclusions binder that I'm going to set up. Before I do that, I'm actually going to switch out the binder that my Blackpink bigger inclusions are in right now, and I'm going to move them into a bigger binder. So I originally had Blackpink's bigger inclusions in one of the 2-inch binders, and I honestly think I would have enough room to keep adding stuff in here. Probably be able to fit like a decent amount of stuff in here still. But when I was going to buy the binder to move the EXO and Stray Kids stuff into, I was thinking about it and I was like, I feel like I might as well get the 3-inch binder instead of another 2-inch binder, so that way I don't have to either put all of this stuff in a second binder or split this into 2 different binders at some point, or eventually upgrade to a bigger binder. So I decided to go ahead and just get a 3-inch binder for Blackpink. It honestly ended up being a little bit bigger than I expected, but I feel like it'll give me more room to grow, and I do feel like I'm going to be working more on bigger inclusions for Blackpink than any other group, so I feel like it doesn't hurt to have a bigger binder. If I really decide I don't like it, I can always switch them back into a 2-inch binder. Right, when I go through, I'm actually going to take everything out of here, but I'm going to start from the back instead of the front just so I can keep everything in order. I'm just going to keep these 2 random pages of not K-pop related things in here, and I'm going to put them in the other binder. So I have the 3-inch binder for them. Like I said, it is a little bit bigger than I was expecting, so I shouldn't need to get another binder for their bigger inclusions anytime soon. I really need to figure out something to do with these 2 pocket pages, because I like that I'm able to fit the bigger postcards in them, but I don't like how much they slide around, and I don't want to just put like a white paper in there and like tape them down or something, because I like seeing the backs of stuff even if like a plain back, but I honestly might just have to do it if I keep struggling with things sliding around, because I don't want stuff to get damaged just because it keeps hitting the rings and sliding out of the binder. It is honestly like my one complaint with these pages, because I don't really understand what the point of having side loading is. I feel like the top loading ones were much more secure for me personally. Finally got them in there, and like I have no problems with the 4 pocket pages, which are just regular top loading pages, and I would just switch them out if they had other 2 pocket pages that weren't side loading like that. It's actually a little harder than I thought to get the pages in this binder. I think I'm gonna try and do it the other way. Put things in from the back first. finally got everything in there. This binder is a little harder to turn the pages in. So I don't know if I'm gonna end up wanting to keep it and everything in here. I might honestly just get another 2-inch binder and keep everything in there, but we will see. That is everything for this binder. I'll probably go back through and make sure that everything is in here properly and isn't sliding around. If anyone has like any ideas of what to do with the side loading pages to try and keep everything from sliding around, because it really is like my only complaint with these pages. I really like them. I just hate how much the stuff in the side loading pages slides around, because it's kind of hard for them not to when you're turning the pages, and I just don't want them to keep sliding into the rings. I honestly really just wish they would do regular like top loading pages just to keep that from happening. And if they ever do release any, I would probably switch a lot of these pages out, because I don't want like all my stuff to get ruined. All right, but that is everything for this binder for right now. I'm not adding anything in it or switching anything around. I just wanted to put it in the new binder. There is definitely plenty of room in there, but I don't know if I like how hard it is to move everything around. So we'll see what I end up doing with that. Now the last thing I have to do is to put my Stray Kids and EXO stuff into their own bigger inclusions binder. So I'm actually filming the second part of this video like a week later, because I ran out of storage and didn't have enough time to finish filming this video last week. So if there's any weird cuts or anything, that is why. So for the second part, I'm just going to be moving all of my Stray Kids and EXO bigger album inclusions into their own binder. So I did already, in the first part, I took out all the Blackpink stuff in this binder. I do have a few pages still left in here, but it's definitely not enough. And it's just like some random pages, so I'm definitely gonna have to add more. I am gonna start off with the EXO stuff, because I'm gonna have EXO first. Okay, so I did take everything out already, just because I didn't want to struggle to take everything out and struggle to put everything back in this video. And I do know a few things are kind of gonna be in a bit of a random order. And this first page isn't even gonna have all 4 pockets filled out, because I am just gonna stick the one big mama XOK photo card I have on this page. And then I wasn't really sure what else I had that would fit on here, so I do just have this Chen 2022 SMCU postcard from the EXO version of the SMCU album. I don't have anything to put on the bottom for right now, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'll figure out something eventually. Last night I did kind of try and go through what I had to come up with a plan for. I was gonna lay out a few things. So I do have 2 of the, I believe this was for Life postcards. Yeah. So I have Sehun and Schumann, and then I also have this other random postcard. I'm not really planning on collecting any more of these, so the idea for this was to just stick 2 postcards at the top. I think they just have to overlap a little bit, so they'll hopefully stay better like that. And then the random photo will just go on the bottom. Unfortunately, the postcards are just like a little too big for the 4 pocket pages. And I also have a sticker sheet from the war, but I don't really know where I'm gonna stick that yet. I think I'm gonna do the postcards first. So I have, where is the other one? So I have both of those. Honestly, these postcards are like one of the things I wouldn't mind trying to collect all 8 members for, because I honestly just really love these postcards, but I'm really not actively collecting bigger inclusions for EXO or for really anyone that isn't Blackpink at the moment. So you did get all the members for these in the albums, but I am just gonna put the Sehun and Kai ones in for now. Maybe at some point I'll decide I want all the members in here, but for right now I'm just gonna keep those two. Right, so next I have the almost like tempo postcards, which I do have both the Sehun and Kai's postcards, and then I also have a Schumann and Baekhyun postcard. And unfortunately these are like just slightly too big for the 4 pocket pages, so I do have to put them in 2 pocket pages. But if I remember correctly, I think I should be able to do the same thing I did with the 4 life postcards and slide them in like this, which will hopefully maybe keep them from sliding around as much. And I honestly think I might just put these 2 on the backs for right now. So I might just... Don't think that's quite centered, but good enough. Right, so that works for now. If I ever get any of the other members' postcards, I'll definitely move that around, but works for now. And then next I have the Obsession postcards, which these thankfully fit perfectly in the 4 pocket pages. We do just have Sehun and Kai, and then Junyeol and Suho. Which I honestly would not mind maybe at some point trying to get other members for these, especially since they fit so perfectly in the 4 pocket pages, unlike most of their other postcards. Okay, next I have Don't Fight the Feeling, which unfortunately do not fit in the 4 pocket pages. So I have 2 of Sehun's, a Schumann, Baekhyun, Kyungsu, and then 2 of the group ones. So I think I might try and double these up somehow. I might just put the group ones on the back of these ones. I don't know if I'm going to keep them like this because I honestly don't know if I like it, but I don't really have any other options right now, and I don't want to just have like a bunch of pages just for these postcards. That one is upside down. Honestly, since the backs of these are kind of plain, I might just get like a white paper to stick behind them and try and like stick them down so they don't move around as much, since I'm pretty sure I've already complained about it in this video. With these 2 pocket pages, everything just slides around so much. Okay, I think I'm gonna do these 2 on the front and then the Schumann one on the back, since it's from a different version. Okay, and then the last thing I have for group albums is all of the Exist stuff. So unfortunately, most of the inclusions are gonna have to be also in 2 pocket pages because the postcards are too big. But the little like film strip things do thankfully fit in the 4 pocket pages. And I think I'm just gonna stick the bookmarks at the bottom. I might try and just get another one just to fill in that space, but just leave it like that for now. Now, all of the postcards are the same size no matter what version they're from. And I know I have this one from that version. And these 3 are the same from the same version. And these 2 are from the same version. So I'm going to put these 2 first since it's the only one I have Satan's postcard for. Although I think if I remember correctly, this was the X version, maybe. So technically I should go second, but I don't really care. And I think I'm probably gonna do those 2, and then I'll do these 2 on a page together. And I'm honestly not really paying attention to making sure that everything is in like the right age order. I kind of just want to get everything in here for now. And then if I want to change anything later, I can. Right, now the last group things I have are the 2 lenticulars I have from Exist. Again, I think this was the X version, but I cannot remember. Wait, I completely forgot I had the 2 bigger postcards that I pulled from Exist. So these are kind of just pretty plain on the back. So I am going to double these up. I do have 1 pocket pages for those. And these pages are also side loading, but they have like a flap to keep things from sliding in there. Which, as much as I don't love the flap on like the 6 pocket pages I have for my A5 wide binder, I think I would prefer it for the side loading pages because everything slides around so much in those. So there is those. Right now everything I have left is all just XOSC stuff and then solo stuff. So I have a bunch of XOSC postcards and sticker sheets. But these all unfortunately are gonna have to be 2 pocket pages. So there was 3 XOSC postcards with both of them for What a Life. And then for 1 Billion Views, there was 2 member postcards for each of them. And then 2 postcards with both of them, and then 3 different sticker sheets. So I think I might just do these 2 together. And then third one on that page with a set of the Gunvillian View stickers at the bottom. And then I'm going to do both of Sehun's individual postcards. And then I think I'm going to do postcards with both of them. And I also did realize when I bought more pages, these 2 pocket pages are actually slightly bigger than the original ones I had. So the ones I have in here now are the 215 by 154. And these ones are 220 by 156. So I don't really know if that's going to make any difference. The pages themselves are still the same size. It's just the pocket is slightly different. I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference, but we'll see. I did look and they're actually like slightly different sizes. They don't quite line up perfectly, but honestly I don't really care that much because I don't think it's going to be that noticeable. But if it does bother me, I can always just switch them out later, but I honestly don't think it will. Right, and then I just have the last 2 sets of stickers, which I honestly think I might just stick on the back of this page because they are the same size as the postcards. Okay, next I have Kai Solo stuff, which I do think a lot of his stuff will fit in the 4 pocket pages. So from his first album, I have 2 postcards and then 6 of these stickers. I'm going to put the 2 postcards on the top. And I think I'm going to do 2 of the stickers down there, and then do the other 4 on a page by themselves. Okay, and then I'm going to combine Peaches and Rover just because I have 2 Peaches postcards, a Polaroid, and then the 1 Rover postcard. And then for Suho, I do have these 3 postcards from his first mini album. So unfortunately I'm going to have to put them on a page with an empty spot because this postcard doesn't fit in there. It's slightly too big. Honestly, if they would just make every single postcard the size, it would work out perfectly. And then I think I'm going to put this one on top and then start Baekhyun's solo albums. So for the light, they had 3 of these hollow postcards. So I'm going to put this one down there. then the other two on this page together. Unfortunately, these Delight message cards that I have unfolded are slightly too big for pocket pages, so I'm gonna try and they're too big to go in there like that. Honestly, I might try just folding them back like that, and then you just won't see that side. I don't love having it like that, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then this is gonna be slightly out of order, but I'm put that Hello World postcard and sticker set on this page, but then I do still have a few other things from Delight to put away. So I have 3 of the sticker sheets, so I'm just going to do 2 on the front and then 1 on the back. Right, and then there is everything for Delight, and then I just have a few other Hello World things, which is the last EXO album that I have stuff for. I obviously don't have everybody's solo albums or all of the versions for the ones I do have. I did get, I think, almost every version, if not every version of Delight, because it was honestly one of my favorite EXO solo albums. And I usually buy all the versions for Kai, but I haven't bought an album for everybody. Right, so then that is everything I have for EXO, and then I'm gonna get into all the Stray Kids stuff. And so first I have just 3 random no easy postcard things. I don't have all of them obviously, and I don't really know that I'm gonna try and get all of them. I just have these ones because I got them as freebies with cards that I bought, so I wasn't really planning on trying to get them, but I have them, so I feel like I might as well just put them in here. I would like to at least get 1 more to fill out that page, but if I don't, it's not a big deal. And then next I have the Maxim postcards. We do have Chan, Felix, Hyunjin, and Ian, so I'm just gonna put Chan and Felix at the top since they are my 2 biases and the 2 members that I collect. And I'm just gonna put the other 2 at the bottom. Right, next I'm gonna kind of have a random page of, I believe, all of like the US exclusive postcards. So I have Ordinary, Maxim, 5-star, and Rockstar. They all just fit perfectly in the 4 pocket pages. So I'm gonna stick them together. I don't get why they made the back of the 5-star one just white. At least like the Rockstar one, even though it's mostly white, has their logo and like the album logo on there. Right, and I think I'm actually gonna stick this like film strip on the back of there, and then stick the Rockstar stickers behind there. And then next I have the Ordinary postcards, which these should fit in these pages perfectly. Then for an accident, I just have Felix, but I would like to try and get Chance at some point. So I'm gonna just stick Felix on the bottom. I did pull some of the other members for those, but I just don't have them right now. And I did pull 6 of the 8 members for the 5-star ones, and these ones are just completely blank on the back. So I think I'm gonna double up on these, and I am gonna put the Tana Felix ones together on the first page because they are the 2 members I collect, and they are like the only 2 members I would have gone like out of my way to get them. Okay, so I'm gonna do, you know what, I think I'm gonna leave these 2 by themselves, and then I'm gonna put Chongbin and Hyunjin on the front, and then Sungmin and Ian on the back. Part of me does feel like I'm only missing 2, so I might as well try and get the other 2, but it's just not a priority. And I don't really collect bigger inclusions for Stray Kids. It's just, if I get one of the 2 members I collect, I kind of want to get the other one. Otherwise, I'm usually not too worried about it. I forgot, I also had this Rockstar bigger postcard, which I think I'm honestly, for right now, going to stick it with Felix's Maxnet poster. So I think I'm just going to stick it with Felix's Maxnet poster right now, even though it doesn't really make any sense there. But just to save room for the moment. Honestly, I don't really even feel the need to get Felix's for that because those are so flimsy. And then I just have these from Rockstar. I'm just gonna stick them in here real quick. I do also have this folded poster, but it would have to go in a 1 pocket page, and I really don't feel like getting a 1 pocket page just for that, so I'm not gonna stick that in there. And then I just have a few of the 8 inclusions. I'm not gonna put the receipt in here because it's really flimsy and would have to be in a 2 pocket page, and I feel like I don't need to put that in here, and I only pulled 1 member for that, so I'm not gonna do that. And I think this postcard is too big for 4 pocket pages. I'm gonna do the unit one, and then I have this Chongbin postcard. I don't have anything else that'll fit on that page, but I do have this random extra Rockstar postcard that I had in this pile for some reason, so I'm gonna stick that there. Also have this Maniac Tour postcard that's just gonna go on there for right now. Okay, so I'm gonna put this postcard on this page, and then I also pulled out the lyric book just because it fit in the 2 pocket page, and I figured I could use it to fill out the page. And then I think on the bottom, you know, since the back of this one is kind of plain, I think I'm gonna stick that on top and then put that on the back, and then just have the lyric booklet at the bottom. So then the postcard will be on the back, and then I'm just gonna slide the lyric booklet down there. Alright, and then that is everything. I am just gonna do a really quick flip through. So even though there is 2 groups in here, it's not nearly as full as this binder isn't nearly as full as it was when Blackpink was in here, so I should have plenty of space because, like I said, I'm not really actively collecting bigger inclusions for either of these groups. but I just wanted to have them like displayed better because I wasn't crazy about the binder the extra stuff was in before, and I knew I could do something better with the way I had the Stray Kids stuff laid out. All right, so I'm gonna do a really quick flip through of everything. Right, so that is everything for this binder and for this video. I'm hoping to have an unboxing of Rosé's album maybe at some point in another sewing photo cards video, and I think I might try and get my updated collection video up at the end of this month instead of at the beginning of January, just because I haven't posted much this year and I didn't post a mid-year binder collection update, so we will see if I have time, because honestly I really just haven't had the time to film because I have been working so much, and when I am home from work I just don't feel like filming anything because I feel like I'm exhausted most of the time. But I will hopefully try and get that up sometime before the end of the month, if not like the very beginning of January. Alright, but that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Bye.